What things really make you cringe? Seeing an adult complaint like a child to waiters, cashiers, etc. Clickbait YouTube thumbnails. Public proposals. Videos of people at sporting events eating their boogers. Horny dudes trying to get a woman's attention while she's shopping or at work. Women who act drunk after 2 beers for attention. My coworker who told me her last boyfriend told her that her vagina feels like a bowl of macaroni. Saying something in a group and getting dead silence afterwards. Also thinking about the stupid things I've done in past social situations. Also waving back at someone who wasn't waving at you. Also my voice. Also having an idea of what to say in my head but when I speak it just sounds a mess. Watching a sex scene of a movie with your parents. Any story about someone having a birthday party and no one shows up. It happened to my little brother when we were kids and I've been scarred from it since. People dying, abuse, grief, loss, horror etc. does not elicit the same emotional upset I get when I hear those kind of birthday stories. I threw a surprise birthday party for my wife several years ago, invited 7 couples that we were friends with. 6 couples RSV'd yes, and 1 couple said no. Come night of the party, I cleaned the house, made 2 batches of chili, had wine and snacks ready to go, everything waiting so that when people showed up, we'd all be there when she got home from work. No one came. I cleaned up all the decorations before the wife got home. 1 couple had a sick baby. 1 couple just straight up ghosted us. 1 had to work late. And I DK the rest. The couple that had to work late showed up 3 hours later and we had a great time with them, but I didn't have the heart to tell my wife the whole story until a year or 2 later. We are not friends with most of those people now. Sadly. Or maybe fortunately. When I'm getting my hair cut and the clippers get near my right ear, the entire right side of my head gets extremely tingly and my back reflexively cringes away. It's like ASMR on super steroids. When I remember that I did the I do have a boyfriend, he just goes to another school thing. When someone is obviously lying. Thanks for the gold, kind stranger. Just send a private PM to the Gilder and stop ruining good posts. When I remember my high school interactions in general. When people make a joke but nobody laughs and it's just quiet. Me talking to my crush. A suburban white kid acting like a gangster because he listens to rap. People commenting what they want to do to girls on their Gone Wild posts. You see people commenting on a girl with her full breakfast out saying I'd have you dripping like a runny egg sandwich, and it's painful to read. Similar to porn video comments where at least some of them are funny. Coming across some rising issue or unpopular celebrity being posted about on Reddit and someone saying Reddit do your thing, like we actually have a huge impact on shit outside the website. Shared couple Facebook accounts, specifically where they use in as the middle name. Touching something that shouldn't be where I have my hand, doesn't matter what it is, and or how it feels. It especially happens if I'm doing the dishes and I touch a large chunk of tomato sauce that wasn't thrown into the food bin. My old social media posts and behavior. When people gild themselves. People who talk about oh I'm so ugly when they're literally the most attractive person in the room, clearly just so people would compliment them. This doesn't go for looks only but for skills too. Recordings of my own voice. People who are unnecessarily aggressive because they're insecure. Every time I am in a group of people, I always say the wrong thing and they look at me like I have 3 heads and a penis growing out of my forehead. The frogs that hatch their young in their backs. People pretending to act dumb to be attractive. That David Miscavige guy who runs Scientology. Watching old recordings of me performing. I'm a nice person but if you piss me off I'll be your worst nightmare. It makes me cringe when people cringe at things I find completely normal. Like it makes them seem too uptight or uncomfortable with themselves and then it makes me uncomfortable. Folks who read motivational literature and then brag about what outstanding knowledge it contains. When people get that mentality of I am one bad bitch because they are really just one annoying bitch. 300-pound people dressed in military uniforms pretending to be Ghost Recon Army SEALs. Kids claiming to be born in the wrong generation. Guys being overly aggressive at women who are plainly uninterested. People who post vague status updates on social media, such as "the most horrible thing just happened to me," without providing any context. It's a cheap way for people to fish for attention, and it creates unnecessary worry for the people who care about them. My dad had to get a shot in his eyeball the other day. He was telling me about it over the phone. I'm cringing now just rethinking about it. The time I was talking too loud at a wedding when I wasn't supposed to, and everyone at the wedding turned around to see what asshole wouldn't shut up. Self-diagnosed psychopaths. Videos of people getting caught in lies. People who overshare for attention on social media, mainly Instagram. I can't stand someone just talking about themselves to a camera like the entire world needs to know what they are doing every minute of the day. When people make a scene, for any reason, especially if I am associated with them right there, brings on a tidal wave of anxiety and embarrassment. Remembering my past. American office culture. Let's circle back. Bubble up any concerns you might have. Forced camaraderie and laughter at Steve, who's a damn dweeb, and his unfunny joke that's been honed over many a cup of shitty coffee in the break room because it's just another Monday. A guy sending meme after meme to a chat group, and no one responding, like ever. I feel called out. People who always talk about smoking pot. You smoke, that's cool. I used to, but Jesus, if drugs are your personality you might have a problem. Also TikTok cringe compilations. It's hard to find a good cringe compilation, but the TikTok ones are so hard to watch. Those videos of guys trying really hard to be sexy, biting their lips and looking down and brushing their hair back. They make me cringe so hard. Having to stick your hand into the nasty food water that has been sitting in the sink for several days to open the drain, and when you remove your hand, the pieces of fish and lettuce and dark matter that are stuck to it. When people sneak in the fact that it's their cake day into a comment that has nothing to do with it. My face when I see it on video. I consider myself a good-looking gal, but when I see my face on videos I look absolutely different from what I look in mirrors and pictures, whether selfies or that others take. Looking like a damn squirrel fish. Early teen me. So many cringy stuff I did. I hope all of my old friends have forgotten about me. When people post selfies of them crying. No joke. My friend's sister posted crying selfies of her and her kids when they had their dog put to sleep. With the dead dog. Like, that's a private moment of grief, not a selfie opportunity. My brother-in-law. The way he tries to flirt with anything with a pair of boobs and is 2 decades younger than he is. Mostly female servers at restaurants. He treats male servers like shit. He tries to touch their hair or their shoulders without permission and makes the lamest jokes that no one ever laughs at except for him. The man hasn't shaved in years, and from the smell of it probably doesn't bathe as often as he should either. He smells like dog and burritos. I married his twin brother. I feel like I married the name brand version and his brother is the dollar store version. The Tiger King. The first tried to watch it last night, got through 1 episode and thought this is the definition of cringe. When the super rich try to relate to ordinary people, it just comes across as so fake. Come on now, we're all in the same yacht boat. When people film themselves doing something really generous and heartfelt for someone in dire need, e.g., a homeless person, mate, give them the money or the food or whatever, and get on with your life. I cringe at how that person must feel to have a camera or phone shoved in their face while they're accepting someone's shallow charity. I'm glad the person in need benefits, but I can't bear to watch them. People lying about having a mental illness. When people sing you a happy birthday song. The time I thought I was being mature about sexuality and kept trying to tell my friends that they shouldn't be afraid of masturbation, that everyone does it, and girls do it too. Hey everyone, let's all tell our masturbation stories. I was 13 at the time. Oh god. And now I remember the time I somehow managed to bring using saliva as lube for masturbating during a conversation. Why did you make me remember all this? Please end me like I ended my social status in school. Second-hand embarrassment. It makes me physically ill. Someone obviously showing off at doing something when they're not that good at it really gets to me. The worst is when someone is singing along to a song, but instead of just vibing and singing for their own pleasure, they're looking around to make sure that other people are watching them sing. It's the worst. Just to be clear, doing something badly just because you enjoy it is encouraged and celebrated. You should see me on a dance floor. It's like an epileptic octopus. It's when the person doing it thinks they're good at it and has that smugness or attitude and is doing it for praise from other people, but they're not actually good at that thing. Watching the auditions for X Factor makes me feel sick. People shooting down ideas when they've asked for help. It angers me, but it also just really makes me uncomfortable. Extreme self-delusion. Usually it's funny enough to make up for it, but sometimes it's just so sad to see somebody who can't accept reality. YouTube comment threads that are essentially an endless string of who else is listening in 2020. In a drama performance, I had to blow a kiss into the crowd and accidentally did it to a teacher by accident, and following up I did the call me hand gestures. Scott's tots. When people break bones in videos, and they just stare at it in shock. Remembering that I liked some of Anision's videos.